Good morning, everybody. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. We shall begin today's session. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is the first question where you're giving two parts, and both the parts, when they come together, they form a spelling. There's a word which they form. What you're also given is the lower row, which is numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That lower row is randomly arranged. The bottom row is very randomly arranged. That's what another condition that you're given. What you have to find is which is the correct series in which all these parts will come together to form a spelling. The first row is arranged appropriately. There is no problem with the arrangement in the first row. Only the second row is arranged in a random manner. What you have to find is the correct number series, which when these two come together, they complete a spelling or they form a spelling. Is it clear? We'll follow the same method, answer it in the chat box, and we'll solve this together. Rudraksh, correct answer. All right. Since he has put it in the comment, when you give the answer, please address it to me so that everybody else can also solve it on their own. Okay, please make sure you do that. So in this case, yeah, what you do is here we see some parts. So this, one second, yeah, okay. So this part that you see, it can either start with a C, it can be a 9 also, but it's an ulta 9, so this is not possible in that case. Or it can also be a 9 like this, where I'm only seeing that much part. But usme ye part problematic. So if I start with the assumption that this is a C, which means uska adha part aisa aayega. The part which is seen here is this one, 5. So 5. So this can be an O, the next letter, which is this. It can come like this, like an O. It can be a U. It's a word, so I will say, ठीक है, chalo, let me see which of these comes together. Since 5 I've already taken here and both these are at one level, I'll say, let's say 7, because it will be coming like this, the two lines. So C, it comes with C, then U. The next part, which is this letter, it can be an N also, because I see here this part. Ye dikh raha hai aapko? This part I see here. So when I add it here, it comes something like this. So it can be N. So when I say cunning, C-U-N comes, and then there is this I-N, this other part which is left here. I can start my thing by saying what starts with C-U-N. Cunning is one word which comes to my mind. So I say, okay, let me check if this word comes here or not. So then the next part, if this letter is supposed to be N, which comes here like this, then number 4 comes. Sorry. So 5, 7, 2, 4. Here number 4 comes. Here 5 comes, 7, 2, and 4. Okay. This, in that case, if this is I, it will come this part will come here, which is 3. Here N again comes, which means number 6 is still left. So 6 aayega yahan pe, which is this part. And the last part is the G part here. just 1. So this is the answer, 5724361. In this case,
Ma'am,
you will
three.
have to go back 2 ways. By first method which you have to look at is, of course, guess which letter will complete the half, which letter will complete the other half, like what we started with here or here. In this case, there was a possibility it can be CU or it can also be CO. In this case, so I said O ka possibility hai. Is there a possibility that this U which is there, it can be completed with the other half U, like this? But in the options which I was given here, these parts which I was given here, there was no part which comprises of this kind of form. So I say O possible nahi hai. Let's me go with the U. If I say ki second word U hai, in which case I know okay, 7 number will replace here because that is where it is coming. वो fit हो जाता है यहाँ पे. So once you come up with say one part or say a partial, जैसे next part है, you know it is N, it cannot be M because of the sheer distance which is there between the two letters. If it were to be M, it would come something like this. It's actually, even this is far-fetched. It will, if you look at this angle, if that same angle repeats here, the next line comes here. So M possible nahi hai wahan pe. It has to be N only, क्योंकि ये यहाँ पे आ रहा है आपका. So I know कि next, I know CUN आ रहा है, and then the last part, यहाँ पे इतना part दिया है और यहाँ पे इतना part दिया है. I actually didn't talk about this, but I had observed this earlier, कि last part में it has to be a G, because this is the only one, this is the only bottom letter which will fit here. बाकी सब में ऊपर के letters, ऊपर का parts fit हो रहा है या middle part fit हो रहा है. One number is the only letter which comes at the bottom of the whole spelling. That's why I know that last will be G. Now if it is ending with a G, it has to be ING spelling and it starts with CUN. That's why I guessed cunning is the word. Then I checked, cross-checked again. Say cunning, if I am writing cunning, then what is, if I start fitting in the words with reference to this word cunning, how will the different parts fit in? Got it? That's how I came across this series 5724361. Is that clear? Any doubts? Okay, we'll move to the next one. I'm not sure if we have done this earlier or not. Can anybody let me know? Okay, fine. Let's just do this very quickly, okay?
Ma'am, we have done it.
We have done this, right? Okay, then I'm skipping this question. Okay. Trisha, you are suggesting we have done a similar question? Okay, let's just do this very quickly. I'll explain you the whole method, how to do this, okay? So in this case, what you're given is this black, you're given some kind of a balanced structure, and this black fish weighs 5 grams. Now, if this if it is a balanced sculpture, which means the weight is equally distributed along this axis. Because this is where the sculpture is hanging, this is the point where it will be equally distributed, which means यहाँ पे जो भी weight आपका आएगा ये position पे, the red fish will have to counter that equal weight. Only then the sculpture will be balanced. What you also have to find is what is the weight of the red fish if the weight of this black fish is 5 grams. Now, if this is 5 grams, which is the black fish, this blue fish won't be 5 grams. Why? Because if you look at these parts, 1, 2, 3, and 4, versus here you have only 1 and 2 parts, which means यहाँ पे this length is 2x if this length is x. बाकी सब में it is x and x. यहाँ पे x x distribution है, यहाँ पे भी x x distribution है. That's not a problem. Okay, I'm just saying A, okay? I'm not writing X here. I'm saying 2A and A is the distribution, which means if this is 5 grams, this will have to be 10 grams. Now, when I go to the upper level, which अगर ये 5 gram है तो ये 10 gram होगा, because this is unequally distributed. 2A and A का distribution. So which means in this total bottom tier, the total weight that is hanging from this blue thread here at point, let me say A, at point A, the total weight at point A will be 15 grams. I'm writing 15 grams again here. Now, if this is 15 grams and this is equally distributed, the green fish will also have to weigh 15 grams. Now, when I add this total, which is hanging at this point at point B, the weight at point B will be 15 plus 15, which is 30 grams. Now, if B is weighing 30 grams, the orange fish will also have to weigh 30 grams because X and X, they are both equal and it is balanced. So these two will total weigh 60 grams at this point. At junction C, the weight will be 60 grams. Henceforth, if it is a balanced composition along this point, in order to counter it, the red fish also will have to weigh 60 grams, which is the answer. Okay. Yes. Any doubts, any questions in this? Okay, most of you have answered. Great. Okay, sure. We'll move to the next one then. Yeah. So here you're given some pattern. Okay, and in this pattern, the yellow and blue boxes are moving, and there are some places where the green box also happens. I mean, green color square also happens. What you have to find is which of these options will replace this box which is given here. This box which is just given here. Which of these options will replace this box which is given here? Naishi, Rudraksh, Pratvi, Anshi, Yesha, Palak, Twisha. Everybody, Tisha also correct answers. In this case, very rightly guessed by most of you, the answer will be option A. How? If you look at it, it's very logical here. There's no trick or anything involved. If you look at the series, everything is organized in some series. So when in this part, the yellow box moves from here to here, which is this position. From this position, it moves here. From this position, it moves here. While the blue colored box, from this position, it moves that part. And then from this position, it comes here. And then from here, it again comes here. When blue and red, yellow colored box, they come together at one point here, it becomes yellow because blue and yellow combine to form a green color. Then again, they will follow that same sequence. Blue will be moving along this axis versus yellow colored box will move from this axis, along this axis in an anti-clockwise direction. It moves like this in an anti-clockwise direction, and then like this, and then like this, and then again like this. So if my yellow and blue colored box are here in this box, then in the next option, the blue colored box will come here. The blue colored box will come here, and the yellow colored box will come here. This kind of option is only there in one case, which is option A. Hence, option A will be the correct answer here. Any doubts, any questions in this? All right, we'll move to the next one. So here, this is some kind of series which is given of different numbers across as it moves down. There is some logic which is followed. What you have to find is which of the number will replace this box which is there in the bottom. Which number will replace this box here? So 245, 133, 548, 111, 346. Likewise. Trisha, correct answer. Rishabh, correct answer. Ria, Mahi, correct. Ria, correct answer. Mahi, wrong answer. Yeshar, Naishi, wrong answer. Manya, Rudraksh, correct answer. Vansh, wrong answer. Sanchi, correct answer. Palak, correct answer. I don't know this iPad 2. It's wrong answer. Trisha, wrong answer. Darsh, wrong answer. Vishwa, correct answer. All right. In this case, Diya, wrong answer. In this case, if you observe very carefully, as I move downstairs from top row to bottom row, it says 245, 133. If I start looking like as one number like this, it will be a problem for me because these are huge numbers. And in some cases, from top row to bottom row, it is reducing and then suddenly it increases that number. So it is difficult to look at it as one number. Now, if I observe some kind of a pattern which is happening, 2 plus 4 is 6, addition, minus 1 is 5. 1 plus 3 is 4, minus 1 is 3. 5 plus 4 is 9, minus 1 is 8. 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1, 2, minus 1 is 1. 3 plus 4, 7, minus 1 is 6. 2 plus 3, 5, minus 1, it is 4. 5 plus 3, 8, minus 1, which will be 7. So 4 plus 4, 8, minus 1 will be 7, which is the correct answer. Is that clear? This is some kind of a pattern which was happening. In this case, like initially only if you start looking at them as one number, it is problematic because here it's 244, then it reduces, then suddenly it increases to 548, then suddenly it reduces to 111, then suddenly the number increases to 346. So yes, there is an decrease happening, but like at one, here it reduces, here it increases, here it again reduces, then increases, reduces, increases, and then slightly reduces. The difference is something which is very difficult to gauge because from this to this, it's almost half. Then again, maybe 4 times or 2 times. Then again, 2 times or 4 times reduction. So it is very difficult to treat them as single numbers. Henceforth, I went with this kind of treating them as individual numbers, as how if there is any pattern coming up within the first row itself. So when I observe, I start with very basic part, which is addition or subtraction. So addition and subtraction, it was happening 2 plus 4, minus 1 came 5. Then I say, okay, next maybe same cheese ho raha if that series is happening. It was working. No, I actually, before I was solving, I came 2 plus 4, 6 happened. So I wrote here 6, then I went 1 plus 3 happens 4. So I started writing out those addition, and after some point in time, I realized that you just need to subtract -1 from here at all the places, and you get the last column which is there. So that's how I arrived at this part of this formula of adding 2 and then subtracting one number. Okay, so you will, in these kind of series question, you will have to work out a lot of permutation combination if you are observing some kind of a relationship in terms of prime numbers or odd numbers, starting with odd numbers first, or starting with squares first. Many a times a very difficult series to crack is x square minus 1. This is a very difficult series to crack. I mean, this is just a suggestion which I'm making up, but you can also check on these lines also, that if it is 2 square minus 1, which is 4 minus 1, 3, and then I have 3 square minus 1, which is 8. So if 3, 8, and 4 square minus 1, which is 15, 3, 8, 15, like these kind of series is also coming up. It's mostly coming from this kind of series, which is very actually difficult to crack, but the formula is very simple. But don't miss out on also finding this part, this kind of permutation combination while you're checking the series. Okay. Any doubts, any questions? Okay, we'll move to the next one then. This is a font-based question. You're given here some series of font which is provided, and there's one number, there's one digit which is not matching the font style which is provided. You have to find that number. Very simple. You have to find the number which is not matching the font series. One second. Pratvi, wrong answer. Yesha, Khushbu, Naishi, Anshi, Rudraksh, correct answer. Vaibhavi, wrong answer. Palak, correct answer. Vishwa, wrong answer. Trisha, correct answer. Meera, wrong answer. Shimoli, wrong answer. Ria, wrong answer. Rishabh, Dia, Drumil, correct answer. Tisha, Heer, wrong answer. Yana, Twisha, Anvi, correct answer. And Pratvi, correct answer. Vansh, wrong answer. Okay. I'm just okay. In this case, the correct answer is 5 number. Why 5 number is because of this part and because of this part which is happening. It's a very distinct feature. Now you will argue that yahan pe ye ho raha hai, but 2 mein bhi aisa ho raha hai. But that edge, the way it culminates is very different. It has a pointy end at the edge. And the way 5 culminates in that, this kind of weird colored end, we don't find it anywhere. If you look at the ends of all these letters, they culminate like at some angle. They culminate at some angle. All of these letters, they culminate at some angle, except for 8. It's very difficult to gauge 8, but since I have already spotted this weird colored, this weird form of culmination, which is that curve which is happening, my first guess will be number 5 in this case. Even in 9, this happens, that angle, the pointy angles. If 5 were to follow this font series, its end will actually be something like this, or something like that, or something at another angle. It will be sharp. It won't be like that curve thing which is happening. Okay. Is there any doubt, any questions on this? Okay, we'll move to the next one then. Yeah. So here you're given a circular plate, and within the circular plate, there are 6 circular biscuits which are kept. What you have to find is the circumference of the plate. What you are also given is the diameter of the circular disc, which is this one, is 10 centimeters. You have to find the circumference of the plate. Now, in order to find the circumference of the plate, in this case, I will be requiring, of course, the radius or the diameter of the bigger circle. That's what you have to crack easily. There's some relationship between the smaller and the bigger circle, which you can see in the diagram itself. And that's why you are given the radius of the smaller circle here. Yesha, closer to the answer, not exact answer. Tisha, wrong answer. Trisha, correct answer. You have to find the exact, not in pi terms. You have to find the exact number. Okay, so calculate it. कौन है? Rudraksh and Virja, please calculate it. Shimoli, correct answer. Sanji, wrong answer. Tanvi, correct answer. Ria, wrong answer. Dia, one second. Dia, Khushbu, closer to the correct answer, but not exact correct answer. You will be given wrong if you're answering that. Vaibhavi, correct answer. Naishi, you have to go till at least 2 decimals. Anvi, correct answer. Virja, wrong answer. All right. Okay. Yeah, so in this kind of questions, you will be required to answer in terms of decimals. At least try going by up till 2 decimals. Okay. At least 2 decimals you should try to answer. So in this case, the closest, the first relationship which I establish is if I draw a circle in the center here, this disc which I make it in the center, which will be of the same diameter that which is the diameter of this disc. That is one of the relationship which gets established here easily. Otherwise, these circles which are there, they will be overlapping with each other. If the circles are not overlapping with each other and they are fitting as it is, which means that the same circle will come inside these edges like this, and it will be of the same size of the outer circle. Okay. So which gives me the radius of the outer circle to be 15 centimeters. The radius of the outer circle is 15 centimeters. Once I establish, because this is 5 and this is 10. और ये दूसरा 5 होगा. So perimeter or circumference of the plate, of this plate, which is there, is 2 pi r. 2 into 22 upon 7 into r is 15, which will be 94.28 centimeters. Please try answering these kind of questions till 2 decimals. Any question which has decimals coming into picture, try answering it with reference to at least 2 decimal places. And if it is mentioned in the question itself that you have to go at least till 1 decimal place, only then restrict yourself to 1 decimal place. Otherwise, you should be answering the decimals at least up till 2 decimals. Okay. Any doubts, any questions? Okay, we'll go to the next one then. This was given to me as a doubt question from some student. So I'm trying to solve it. I think I've solved this earlier, but this came in as a doubt question. That's why I'm taking it up here. Okay. So here, what you're given is, you're given two spheres and you have to guess when this surface pattern or this fabric of these two spheres is open up, how will the pattern look like? How will this pattern look like when you open it up? That is what you have to guess. In this case, just one correction. There is only one correct answer for this. So no two answers are allowed in this kind of question. In this case, all you have to do is look at how the pattern happens on the corners, on the culmination points. When you look at that kind of culmination points of how these terminate at the edges, what you will find is, one second, I'm just going to erase one part. Yeah. When I cut this cylinder along this line, what I find is the black part will be covering on the top, and like you see here and here, and the gray part, so the black part will come, one second. The black part will come something like this, like you see in C and A very clearly. B is not possible, otherwise the end won't be completely black, and D is also not possible, otherwise the end would be gray in color. So B and D I reject it outright, because if B were the case, then the end will be partially gray and then partially black coming, intersecting with each other, which is not happening. In case of D, in case of D, because the gray part is going through and through, what you see as a condition in black will become gray. If that were gray, if these lines were gray in color, only then D is possible. Otherwise, D is not possible. With that in mind, I say B and D I am rejecting outright. Now I say, okay, between A and C, which is the one. Now, if you observe the pattern and the way the gray line starts, it starts in the middle. It does not start in the center. So it has to start like that, from the center, from the not from the center, but from the sides. Because in the figure part, when the black part intersects here, जो ग्रे पार्ट आपका है वो सेंटर से ऐसे नहीं निकल रहा है, बट ऐसे निकल रहा है सेंटर से, because this is like a pointed V which you see here. Henceforth, this line and this line of gray will come like this, which is not happening with A and happening only with C. That's why C will be the correct answer. Is there any doubt, any question in this? In this case, in these kind of questions, all you need to observe is just this ends. Many a times, even the way intersection happens also helps you. But in case of A and C, the intersection is similar. So I cannot make my guess based on that. Between A and C, the options, only the top part is differing between them. So all I have to cross check is, when this kind of pattern happens, does my gray line start culminating at the center, like which is a single line itself? or does it start from the sides? In this case, it's definitely starting from the side itself. You can see here. I'll erase this part. It's starting, this gray line is starting from here, which is the side, which is this side. So that's why it comes like this. Okay. Any doubts, any questions?
I didn't understand the question. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I'll explain. Okay.
Mm.
So in this case, what happens is, in this case, what happens is, first we know B and D are not possible in the first case. Why B and D are not possible is just by observing that much part within B and D. So in case of B, if this was the case, यहाँ पे जो black part है वो through and through won't be continuing. The black part won't be moving like this. If B were the case, the gray part would be intersecting the black part. The gray line would also be coming through and the black line would also be coming through. It will be an alternative situation where this will, if this is gray, then it comes like this and then black part comes like that. उसके सामने black part ऐसे आएगा and then again gray part happens like this. So it will be a weird junction like this, which is not happening with B. With case of C, with case of D, which is the gray part going through and through, in which case जैसा आपको condition ये black का दिख रहा है यहाँ पे, the condition that you're seeing where the black line goes through and through would be happening with the gray line. So that's why B and D are rejected. Now, if I observe A and C options, because they are my only left options, just erase this part. Yeah. If I observe A and C together, there is just one distinction part which is there between A and C, which is how this end culminates. This part culminates. Otherwise, A and C are very similar. If A would be the condition, once. If A would be the case, जिसमें सेंटर से पास हो रहा है ऐसे, इन विच केस ये जो पॉइंट है ना जो आपको स्पीयर में दिख रहा है, दैट जंक्शन, it has to be a very thinner single line drawing. Why it has to be a single line drawing? Because if I were to trace this condition which is happening here or for the gray part, ये आपका एक साइड यहाँ पे हो रहा है, यहाँ से दूसरा पॉइंट चालू हो रहा है, which means that point has to be this point and then that point has to be this point. I have just traced these 2 points, in which case ये पूरा पार्ट आपका ग्रे होना चाहिए. This condition is happening only with C, hence C would be the correct answer. Okay? Any doubts, any questions still? I just trace this point. ये जो ग्रे का स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट है ना, जहाँ पे ग्रे लाइन कल्मिनेट हो रहा है ये एंड पे, I just trace that. और वो लाइन आपका एक्चुअली यहाँ पे आएगा. If it is not here, because this has to be thinner line if it were on top. Okay. Any doubts, any questions? Okay, we'll move to the next one. So this is some kind of series given with rotation as well as number. Both are happening. There's some number thing and there's some rotation also happening. Because the first figure is differently oriented, second alag oriented hai, third alag oriented hai, or fourth bhi orientation different hai. Which figure will replace the question mark is what you have to find. I just followed in this case. Let me tell you how did I find the answer. I just followed the rotation, nothing else. I just followed the rotation, nothing else. And I got the answer. I don't need to go to the number part in this case. Riya, correct answer. Yesha, correct answer. Trisha, wrong answer. Tisha, wrong answer. Vaibhavi, Vansh, correct answer. Drumel, wrong answer. Rishabh, correct answer. Palak, wrong answer. Naishi, wrong answer. Trisha, wrong answer. Or Tisha, Dia, Pratvi, Vija, wrong answer. All right. In this case, what is happening is, if you look at if you compare 1 and 2 figures together, the rotation from one rotation to other rotation, like in this case, the triangle is pointing upright. In the next case, the triangle is moving in this direction on the right side, which means the rotation is happening in clockwise direction by 90 degree. From this rotation, the triangle is moving in the other direction, which means yahan se if I rotate by 180 degree in clockwise direction again, I get the opposite orientation. Ye iska orientation, if I rotate it 90 degree, it will come on this side, which is what is happening in the third figure. Between the third and the fourth figure, this point is moving in this direction, which is 270 degree. 270 degree rotation of this orientation in clockwise direction yields this part. ये 90 degree ऊपर जाता, फिर 90 degree इस side आता, and then फिर 90 degree यहाँ पे आता, which is 270 degree. From this 270 degree, if you look at the sequence, 90, 180, 270, which means plus 90 degree rotation is adding here, and then here also plus 90 degree rotation is adding, which means in the next figure, 270 plus 90 degree, which is 360, 360 degree rotation will be happening in clockwise direction in the fourth figure here. 360 degree rotation matlab the triangle ka orientation will be as it is, the way you see it, like this. The triangle orientation will look the orientation of the triangle will be exactly like this, because it is rotating 360 degree. This rotation is, this kind of figure is happening only in case of B, which also happens to be the correct answer. In this case, purely by looking at the rotation, I was able to get the correct answer, because I also tried. So when I started solving this, I said, okay, chalo, let me see what is the logic that the number additions have. But I was not going anywhere with the number additions, because in some cases here, for instance, it is suddenly increasing. Here it is reducing. It came from 26, I think, 23 and 21 or something like that. Or sorry, 29, 26 and 23. So this was coming to, I think, 29. This came to around 26, and this came to around 23. And this came to around 30, I think. And then suddenly in the figure, it was the option figure, it was something else. So I said, let me just chuck away, let me just do away with the number part, because it's difficult to draw that relationship between 5 numbers. And I say, chalo, let me see what is the rotation thing. How is the rotation working? When I started with the rotation, I say, यहाँ पे 90 degree हो रहा है rotate, फिर 180 degree, फिर 270, and then it should be 360. And that's how I came across the logic. If I follow the rotation only, then B suits well, because it is very sequentially increasing. There is no sudden increase. There is no sudden drop also. Okay. Any doubts, any questions? Any doubts, any questions in this? Okay. We'll move to the next one. This I have solved it earlier, but I still got as a question, as a doubt question. So I'm just solving it here directly. Okay. If you want, you can solve it in your own sketchbooks also. So here what you are given is the outer black rectangle, the inner red, this red colored the middle red rectangle, and the inner white rectangles are proportionately same. What I am also given is the white rectangle's length and breadth is 6 and 4. What is the length of the hypotenuse of the triangle ABC? The length of the hypotenuse of the triangle ABC. Now, in this case, if I were to extrapolate this earlier, this extend out, what it means is if this is x, this will also be x and this will also be x because they both are equal here. So once I crack this relationship here, all I need to do is extract it further. So if I say A and B, yeah, okay. So I need to find the length of the hypotenuse ABC, okay. But for that, I need this dimension and I also need this dimension. What I'll do is I'll first take the red and white triangle, rectangles only. And I'll say, okay, what is the dimension of the rectangle? White, red, and their proportion, which is established here. They both are in proportion with each other, which is very well established. So I don't need to worry about it. So I established this relationship where I say LR upon LB, LR upon B R is equal to LW upon PW, which is length of R upon breadth of R is equal to length of white upon breadth of white, L by B, because they are in proportion. I know the white part. The length is, I'll say, chalo, length is 6 and breadth is 4. So 6 by 4. I also know that the height, this breadth part, is 2x. So I'll say length of R upon 2x or 2 of 4, so which means 8. 2 into 4 is equal to 6 by 4. So 4 I'll cut. So length of R is 12. So the red rectangle is 12 by 8 in proportion. So L breadth or L by B of red is 12 by 8. Similarly, when I extract this line further, I establish the same relationship, half and half. So I'll say y and y. So similarly, iska double of the edges, which is 24 by 16, will be the black triangle. So ये आपका 24 आ गया, ये आपका 16 आ गया. Now what I need to find is in ABC, this, if this total is 24, this will be 12. 12 by 16 and the hypotenuse is what we have to find. So hypotenuse will be 12 square plus 16 square, which will be equal to, hypotenuse square will be, or I'm not writing square here, but I'm saying square root of 12 square plus 16 square, which will be equal to square root of, 1 second, let me calculate this. $20 centimeters. So hypotenuse of ABC will be 20 centimeters. Is there any doubt, any questions on this? Here you have to work, of course, the proportions. Whenever these kind of relationships are given with like proportion or the dimensions, you have to understand that they are all related with each other. Once I establish the relationship, I will say, okay, proportionately, how big or how small it is. If I compare the the white and the red one. From that, I establish that it is 2x, twice. Side is twice. Similarly, when I extrapolated for the black also, that same relationship followed of, multiple of 2. And that's how I established black wala will be 24/16. Or wahan se I came across with the dimensions of the triangle ABC, the base and the altitude part, and I was able to find the hypotenuse. Easy. Any doubts, any questions? Whenever in these kind of questions, it's all a game of finding the proportion. There is nothing involved. You just have to find the proportion and you just have to find the relationship. That's it. Any doubts, any questions? Okay, we'll move to the next one. Okay. Here, this is a very weird particular kind of clock. It's one of a kind clock. What is given is the hour hand of this particular clock moves at half the speed. The minute hand at 6 times the speed of regular clock. Hour hand is moving half the speed and minute hand is moving 6 times. If the strange clock matches time with regular clock at 12 noon, at 12 noon they both match the same time. What is the actual time when the strange clock looks like this? In this case, in this strange clock, the time is shown this, but then there are these conditions where the hour hand moves half the speed and the minute hand moves 6 times. So currently the time which is shown here is 4:30. But the actual time is some 4:30 AM PM. I'm not writing that. But the actual time is something else. That you have to find with reference to this relationship. And these are also the options which are given to you. Of course, I missed that. But these are the options. 8:45, 9:05, 8:05, 10:15. You have to guess which of the option. Only one answer is correct, of course. You have to find which one is the correct answer of the 4 options. Try solving it. It's actually very simple. First start with the hour part and then go to the minute part. From the hour part itself, you will be able to eliminate 2 options. Once you eliminate the 2 options, you just have to find the minute part. That's it. Tisha, Rudra, Shrisha, correct answer. Ashvi, correct answer. Okay, one second. Drumil Anvi, wrong answer. Shimoli, Shimoli, correct answer. Meera, wrong answer. All right. In this case, see. Manya, wrong answer. Heer, correct answer. In this case, the time that is shown is 4:30. What is given is hour hand of this particular clock moves half the speed, which means if it is 4, the actual time, the actual hour will be 8, because it is moving, because this clock, because the hour hand of the clock moves half the speed, the actual time, if it is 8, only then in this case it will be showing 4. So I know in the hour place 8 will be coming here. Here in this case, option B and option D both get eliminated. I'm just left with one guess. Either it is 8:45 or it is 8:05, either of them. So I know I have established that 8 comes in the first part. The next part, it says that the minute hand is moving 6 times. Minute hand moves 6 times, which means if in 1 hour, in the actual time, 1 hour has 60 ticks of minute hand. In the new condition, for the new clock, I mean, I'm just writing for the new clock. This will change to 1 hour having 1 hour having 60 into 6 ticks, which is 360 ticks. Once I establish this, I know the ticks which are shown in the current condition, which is at 6 number. There are 30 ticks in if a minute hand is at 6 position, there will be 30 ticks which will be happening, okay, in the actual condition. So here I am establishing 360 ticks is equal to 1 hour. 360 ticks is equal to 1 hour. I know 1 tick is equal to 1 upon 360 hours. So 30 ticks, in this case, this is 30 ticks, will be 30 into 1 upon 360 hours. Cut it out, this will be 12. So it will be 1 by 12 hour. 1 by 12 hour, it's still in hours. I have to convert it into minutes. So 30 ticks is equal to 1 by 12 into 60 minutes, which will be 5 minutes. Hence, it will be 8:05 in the actual time. Hence, C will be the correct answer.
मैम
हाँ?
हम लोग ऐसा भी कर सकते हैं ना कि 4:30 वाला टाइम हुआ है तो हम लोग 30 को किससे मल्टीप्लाई करें तो 6 आए, मतलब 5 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो 6 आएगा, तो वो वाला लॉजिक भी लगा सकते हैं।
Why 5 से मल्टीप्लाई क्यों किया आपने?
4:30 वाला टाइम है तो हमारे पास जो ऑप्शंस में आंसर दिया है 8.05, तो 05 लाने के लिए हम लोगों ने वो जो मिनट्स वाला जो काटा है वो 6 पे है, तो हम लोगों ने 6 को 30 से डिवाइड किया तो अभी 5 आया ना।
6 को 30 से डिवाइड किया. See, this is your goal. I'm not getting the answer directly at 5. I am first accepting कि 8:45 और 8:05 दोनों possible है. You went the other way around कि 5 लाने के लिए how do I get it? This more looks like a solution on those lines. If it has to be 8:05, then how do I get 05 in the end? The way you are explaining it looks like this, but I am not trying to establish that. I am saying okay, 8:45 भी possible है, 8:05 भी possible है, but if I am simply going by the logic of this 6 times part, कि minute hand 6 times घूम रहा है, तो 1 hour में वो 360 ticks complete करेगा. If 8 hour में 360 ticks complete करेगा, तो एक tick कितना घंटे में खत्म करेगा? वैसे ही because it is at 6 there are 30 ticks involved, because 12 to 6 में 30 ticks are involved और 6 to 12 में वापस 30 involved है. So I said 30 ticks को कितने घंटे में, if there are 36 involved, then how will it convert into hour based on this relationship? So 30 into 1360 and then 30 into 1 upon 360, and then I say 1 by 12 आया. 1 by 12 if I convert into minute, I'll get 5 minutes. So I'm not accepting anything के 8:05 ही answer. I'm saying कि okay 45 minutes भी हो सकता है, 5 minutes भी हो सकता है. Let me check it once.
Okay.
Yes, Rudraksh, you had raised hand.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I was wondering, इसमें instead of like calculating for the exact minutes and ticks, हम ऐसा नहीं देख सकते कि, for example, we know that the hour hand is like moving at half the speed, right? So if it has moved for about 4 hours from 12 to 4, which means the actual time would be at around 8 because you have to double it, right?
Right.
And for the minutes, and I think what my friend was saying was that since it's like 6 times faster, and we know that it's at 30 minutes, we can just divide 30 by 6 to get that the actual hand should be at 5 minutes.
That is also possible. It's the same logic. Yeah. That is possible. So you said 30 minutes divided by 6.
By 6,
30
yes.
by 5. 30 by 6, you get 5 minutes, which is where the hour hand should be. Definitely. Correct.
Okay.
Absolutely correct. You don't need to go into complex calculation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thanks.
Ma'am,
So,
that's what I'm trying to say.
अच्छा but आपने ऐसा उल्टा बोला था, so I understood it the other way
हाँ,
around.
yes,
ठीक है. Yeah,
yes.
then it's fine. Yeah, then it's fine. ठीक है. Okay, fine. Any doubts? Any questions here? Okay, fine. We have time. Can we, let me see if the next question is easier. Otherwise, we do it next time. Okay, if you have 5 minutes then. Yeah, this is easier. Can we do this? It's very quick. It's very similar to the square question, colored square question. This is actually very similar to that question itself. But you have to see how all the three, I mean, first work with elimination in this case. Start with one triangle or square or, sorry, triangle or star or circle, and then find the correct answer. And then go towards eliminating options. Twisha, Yesha, Manush, wrong answer. Trisha, Tisha, Khushbu, correct answer. Rudraksh, correct answer. Tisha, correct answer. Twisha, wrong answer. In this case, what you do is, see, I'm starting with a triangle, okay? The triangle from this position moves to this position here. From this position, it moves here. From this position, it will move here. जैसे यहाँ पे आया, यहाँ पे आया, फिर यहाँ पे it comes here. From here, it comes back here. Here. From here, it comes back here. Here. From here, it comes back here in this position. Then again, it goes back. यहाँ पे. फिर यहाँ से, it means it has to come here, which means triangle will come in this corner. The triangle coming in this corner is happening here and here, nothing else. So A and B are wrong. Between C and D, I will try, because the circle is not seen in C. I will start with the circle first. Between C and D, because the circle is not seen here, that's why I start with the circle. When I start with the circle, I say from this position, the circle comes here. In the next part. From this position, in the next part, the circle comes here. But it goes away, it's not seen. So I say, is there a possibility that because it coincides with the position of the star also, because star यहाँ से यहाँ पे आया और फिर यहाँ से यहाँ पे आया. That's where the star and the circle, because they are standing in one position, they come together here. So ठीक है, there's a possibility कि star and circle, because they are coming together, only star is seen. So from this position, the circle goes up above. From here, it goes again further here, यहाँ पे, from here, here, यहाँ पे. So it is moving in one position in the box itself. So from this position, it will come here. Circle यहाँ पे आना चाहिए. But if you look at it, triangle और circle दोनों का position same आ रहा है, which means circle नहीं दिखेगा और triangle दिखेगा. That's where option C is the correct one. Is that clear?
Explain it again.
Yeah, I'll explain it again. So in
Yeah.
this case, what happens? 1 second. Here. So in this case, all I need to do is, locate one position. I started with a triangle here. So the triangle is moving in a C pattern. It goes here in this part. From here, it comes here. In this part, from here, it comes here. In this part, from here, it goes back here. So the triangle's position is actually C. It will come here, then it go back, it goes back, it goes back, then again it comes back, and it comes back. Hence, the triangle, if I just look at the last position of the triangle, from this it has moved here and then it will come here. Triangle यहाँ पे आएगा. The triangle happening in the last bottom square is happening only in C and D. That's why I eliminate A or B outright. Then I say Let me take a circle. Because circle D में है, C में circle नहीं दिख रहा है आपके. So that's why I say circle, how is it moving? Circle moves from here, it came here, then it came here in the next part, which is in this position. But in this case, what was also happening is the star, which is here, came here, फिर यहाँ से यहाँ पे आया. तो ये position में star और circle दोनों एक ही जगह पे आ रहा है. The star and circle are coming in the one position. But what happens when both star and circle come in one position? Circle नहीं दिखेगा, star ही दिखेगा आपको. So that's why in the last position when I say कि circle धीरे धीरे सिर्फ periphery को outline हो रहा है, what it means is ये circle का position के next position will be here. Now this is also the position where the triangle is happening. So circle नहीं दिखेगा यहाँ पे. So in the next part, whatever is the, irrespective of whatever is the position of the star, the circle won't be seen, and the option where the circle won't be seen and the triangle is in the last block is in the case of C. That's where C will be the correct answer. Okay. Any doubts, any questions? समझ में आया आपको, मीरा? Meera asked, I think. Okay. We'll end the session here.